welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video. So this week we are going to be making a few little changes around the house. So I've spoken quite a few times before about some of the errors we made or the regrets that we have with some of the decisions we made during the home refurb, and now we are a year and 4 months out of the build. I can't believe it's gone so quickly because those 5 months felt like forever when we were in it. And now it's flown by. We've had a year and a bit to think and decide that we're going to now change a few things. They're all very, very minor today. It's all kind of cosmetic stuff. Also, I'm working with Freddys Flowers in this video, so I have a little discount code for you if you did want to do your own flower subscription, and wait till you see the flowers. They are beautiful. We're going to get going, and the first thing I'm going to tackle today is painting over the matte paint on the woodwork in this house. It is hands down the biggest mistake I made. I'd seen on Instagram designers paint the woodwork of door frames and skirting boards the same colours as the walls, and I really love that look. And in my head I just assumed it was the same paint, but there are so many different types of paint, and a matte paint isn't the best thing to paint on woodwork. It is so difficult to clean. From a kind of convenience point of view, easier to clean, we need to change it, and also a vanity point of view because they just look grubby all the time. I've ordered the paints the same colour as the walls for this room and the loft room in eggshell base paint, and I'm going to get painting the skirting boards, so it's a bit of a laborious task, but it needs to be done. Okay, so here is a good example of how badly the dust and dirt sticks to this skirting board. Like, it just always looks grubby. First up, we've got to clean all the skirting boards, make sure all the dirt is off, and then we will go over with the eggshell paint. So a great tip I was actually told at the valspar counter when I was buying the paint, and I was telling the woman about this error I'd made with the woodwork. She said that because I'm painting over with eggshell, I don't even need to prime the skirting boards because matte paint acts like a primer, because a water-based primer is just matte paint. I never knew this, so if you are in the same situation as me where you want to change out your matte painted woodwork, you just need to clean it down. You don't even need to sand it, and you can just paint straight over it. So I've not taped above the skirting line here because this is the same colour as the walls, so there's not that much risk of cutting in and it bleeding a bit. The texture and sheen on the paint is slightly different, but it won't be that noticeable from afar. And if you know anything about me, you will know that I am the laziest decorator ever, so if I don't need to prep something or tape something, I will not do it. At the moment I'm looking at this and I'm slightly alarmed that it is way lighter than the colour on the walls, and I know that paint dries darker, so I've just got to keep going with it because there's no going back. Something I did learn from our decorators when we were doing the refurb was to do as thin a coat as possible. I normally slap it on thickly, but it just takes ages to dry, so I'm going in with super fine coats, and I think I'm going to do at least 2, but this might need 3. It's not drying putty white. That is not the right colour. Look at that. Look at the skirting there. We have a worry. Okay, Willie, all right, all right. You have to move back so they can see. This is not the same colour as this. I think they've mixed it incorrectly because that is drying pure brilliant white. Like, there's no arguing about it. This is more similar to this colour, which is the white of our kitchen cabinets. It is definitely not this putty white beigey colour. So I'm gonna have to stop this room at this point and stand by for next week's episode when I've had time to go to B&Q and swap it out. I'm actually just very relieved that we didn't hire decorators to do the edging in this room and our bedroom, so at least I've just wasted my own time here. Now I'm going to start cleaning this door frame here, and then I'm going to paint it. So the shade in this room is Blanc de Blanc. This is our bedroom, and I love the colour. It's another valspar colour, although I obviously am losing my patience with valspar right now after mixing up the paint incorrectly. But I do love this colour. It is an off-white and it's got the slightest hint of like lemony yellow under it. And because this is a north-facing bedroom, there's not a lot of light in here. So we're trying to just create a little bit more warmth and light in the rooms. Obviously, like, most of my house is like beige coloured, but it was a no-brainer that in this room it was going to be a white. And we've gone with that lemony yellow undertone so that it is a warmer, sunnier white. and it works perfectly. And do you know what, actually, it's really kind of like reinstated my love for bright white paints, because I really went off them for a while, hoping that the eggshell colour is Blanc de Blanc and not another paint shade. So we shall see in a moment. So far so good that this looks like the exact same colour as what I am painting over. Just realised as well, there's going to be like no dramatic before and after reveal, because I'm literally just painting the same colours over the same colour. Underwhelming, sorry guys. Whilst I'm painting this, which is the frame of our pocket door, I thought I'd actually chat about our pocket door because I get so many questions about this. Basically, this door here is a £79 B&Q internal door. I'll link the one below. And it is like a standard door that you would put on a regular door frame. And then our builders built this frame here. So there is a track inside here, which you can order. It's a pocket door frame track. And then they did all of this MDF casing around it. So I can't actually ever link a whole pocket door framing because it was all kind of bespoke built. If you do have builders on site, it's something they can easily do. I think that going bespoke is probably the safest bet, because I mean, if you're putting in a pocket door, it's probably because you've got builders on site doing a renovation anyway. So definitely get them to build it up from scratch. I would recommend it 100 times over. I love our pocket doors, especially on these little small spaces like the ensuite and the utility room. They are worth every penny because they are a little bit more expensive. Another little tip I have if you are installing a pocket door is paint the door, prime it, sand it, paint it, top coat it before you hang it, because you've got parts of the door that are hidden in the frame, so it will give you that perfect edge. Just, it's so much easier. I've just finished the first coat on the door and the frame. I'm not going to do any of the skirting boards yet, or even begin to tackle the beams until I know it is definitely the right colour. This looks quite pure brilliant white compared to the colour on the walls, which are a warmer white. That might just be because the paint is still wet, but we have to wait and see. I'm not wasting any more of my own time, and I've lost faith in this paint purchase. And in the meantime, I am going to carry on with more shuffling my house around and making changes. So I'm working with Freddys Flowers today, the wonderfully fresh seasonal flowers posted right through your letterbox as often as you wish to fill your home with beautiful flowers. Each delivery comes with an arrangement tutorial and care guide to ensure that your flowers look stunning and fresh for as long as possible. And as the flowers are sourced direct from the growers, it means that they spend longer in your home and less time in shops and vans, giving you maximum enjoyment time. Also, if you find your flowers are lasting longer than your subscription dates, then it's really easy to just go online and pause and skip deliveries using the online calendar. Freddys Flowers is a carbon neutral business using only recyclable packaging and growing flowers to order to minimise waste. It is Monday again, so my new Freddys Flowers have just arrived. Before I open them and put them in a vase, I'm just going to show you how last week's got on. So these are 7 days old and they're looking fabulous still, all of them. So I'm just going to change the water. They recommend every 3 days, so they've had one water change already, but they can do with another. And another little tip is that to keep your flowers lasting longer, trim the stems. So I'm just going to trim the bases off the stems here so that it's fresh stem that can take in the water. Here you have it, into week 2 of these gorgeous, gorgeous flowers. They've definitely got another week in them. So this week's flowers have arrived, and the flowers have arrived in bud, and this is another reason why they can last longer as they're going to bloom in home. And I obviously have a code for you, so you can get 50% off your first 2 deliveries, and it also includes this beautiful classic vase with the order. I've linked the direct link below, and you can enter the code Jess at the checkout to enjoy your own beautiful flowers. Okay, so we've got the mozzarella and cheddar toasty, and I put some Cavallo Nero in that as well.
and then I topped my tomato soup with it, and I made a little walnut and anchovy salad as well, which is just so delicious. Oh, the perfect couch dinner.
I've spent today really rearranging this area, and I didn't film any of it. I realise now I probably should have, but when I get going, I just like forget everything else and can't stop. So I wanted to show you what I've switched up. Decided I'm taking the redness out of this area, so I've swapped out the cushion covers and I'm taking this print down. I'll probably put them somewhere else in the house. I think this colour goes beautifully with blue, greyish deep sky blue. So I really want to put that colour in the living room at some point, so these will probably move through there. I ordered some new cushion covers from La Redoute. I've still got the tags on them actually. Here, just like pretty stripes. This was an olive green IKEA cushion from the front room. I basically think that moving stuff around your house is like an interiors refresh, and just purchasing a couple of small things like cushion covers or new prints for the wall just totally transforms the room. So that's what we're doing here. Decided we're keeping this print, which was hung vertically here. I'm now gonna hang it horizontally like that. So I just need to line it up. Rule of thumb is that you should hang prints 30 centimeters above the furniture they're hanging above. So that's probably about there. I will get my measuring tape out in a moment, but it will just hang like that. And I will just use my no nails glue tabs so I can stick it to the wall. So if, like me, you love moving stuff around, or if you're renting and you can't put any like holes in the wall, then these are just the best. These are the little tabs, and each tab holds up like 3 kilos of weight, but I always do 2 tabs per painting anyway, just to give it like balance. Okay, so finally on my little shuffle around in this room, using the rest of these, I am going to swap out this painting. I'm going to put this in the spare room upstairs because the smoke green mount matches the velvet cushions perfectly. Then I'm going to put up this vintage map that my friend got me. She found it in a charity shop in Horsham, and it's of the island of Puerto Rico, and as a child I used to live here, so it's just so lovely, and Guaynabo is where I used to live, so it's nice to just hang this at our dining table. And Freddie and I actually went back to Puerto Rico this summer for a wedding, one of my best friend's weddings, so I got to show him the island as well, so he knows it well, and we've been to quite a few places on the map, so it's really cool. Okay, so I am looking at this space now in the cold light of day, and I realised this picture doesn't work there. Like, it is not meant to be landscape, it's meant to be portrait, so it needs to be hung vertically again. And I just think that it's maybe like too neutral here now. I love the cushions and they totally work. And I just love this kind of embroidered detail around the edge of it. Olive green works perfectly with it, and then this throw, which is from Heels, it's actually sold out now, which is a shame. We got it last year. I'll link it anyway in case it ever comes back in stock. What I'm saying is this area is now too neutral. We also swapped out the rug, and I got this one from Next. It's a really chunky loop detail, which I love. Even though I hoover once a week, I have a dog and she leaves sticks and dirt everywhere, so whilst I'm in between hoovering, you can't tell, which I like. By stripping out all the red and wanting to go more neutral, which I've done, I'm pleased with the individual items, but the overall look is too beige. So I am not changing anything, keeping the rug, keeping the cushions, like keeping it all, but definitely need to change up this. I think that will add like a little bit more of a pop of colour in. We're at this stage where I want to be buying real artwork. So I've had a little look online at affordable places. I will link a few below. I think once you start Googling and searching, Instagram ads starts just like sharing stuff you may be interested in. So I got quite a few Instagram ads for affordable art. So I signed up to all their newsletters and they send you kind of like new art that's in. So I'm just kind of like biding my time and waiting and trying to figure out what I kind of want. I'm not in a hurry because it's obviously like an investment piece. So it'll happen one day. And in the meantime, I am gonna take this down because I have found another place in the house for it. Okay, so I'm now in the hallway and this is actually going to get like a full separate vlog overhaul because we are actually changing quite a bit in here. Apart from knocking down any walls, that's not going to change. But cosmetic wise, the whole thing's getting redone. The matte paint doesn't work. I've spoken about this so many times. It's a hallway, it's busy, people scuff on the walls. We need a more durable paint and it needs to be wipeable. And I was also thinking the two prints that I removed off the wall from the kitchen dining area would look perfect above the shoe bench. So both vertically hung in their rightful placement, not horizontal. We realise now that did not work. So this colour that we've got in the downstairs toilet is Autumnal green smoke, and I've always loved the colour, and we had the tin of paint like way before we started the build, so I wanted to use that can of paint somewhere in the house, and I thought great, I'll just use it in the downstairs toilet. And then I picked this tile slab from Tiles Flare, put it in, great, done. And then every time I'm sat on the toilet in there, I'm like, something isn't right about this, like these colours don't match. The green smoke was a totally random colour against the cool grey veining, and I tried green 05 and green 07 from Lick, and I stuck them on the wall and thought maybe it's a different green I need in here, and then I realised it's not green at all, it is grey. I never thought I would put grey paint in my house. I'm so anti-grey, it's unreal. Now I realise this is literally the perfect colour for this. Now the lighting is so warm in this area, so it's quite hard to show you on camera the true colour of this, but when I stick this against the marble tile, it is so obviously the perfect colour. Because we have this grey veining in here, it just works perfectly with it. I realise now that these colours, all three of them, the smoky green, the olive green, and then the bright green, none of them work. Like, that was just never gonna work. It's not gonna be today because I now need to order the paint, but I'm really excited to paint this whole bathroom grey 08, and I think it will look lovely with the brushed stainless steel taps and of course the walnut mirror here, which I'm still yet to hang, so that's gonna get rehung after we've painted it. Okay, so I've just changed the water again and trimmed these down. They're now 14 days old and they're looking so fresh still, so love them. Just a reminder, if you did want to order Freddys Flowers for yourself, you can get 50% off your first 2 deliveries and one of these gorgeous vases if you use my code Jess. So I will link the link below and the code as well, so you can enjoy Freddys Flowers in your own home. And that is it from me this week. Thanks for joining me on an absolute disastrous adventure of trying to paint my house and failing miserably. I'm loving doing these weekly vlogs again, so I'll be back next week with a few updates from painting disasters. And it is November next week, so I finally get to plant my alliums and my tulips, and we'll just be doing a few more touch-ups. Now that I've started the interior touch-ups, I feel unstoppable, so there's lots more to come. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time with another video. Bye!